What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Auto Auction Rebuilds. Today, we're back again, good Lord, with my 1966 Chevy Impala Fake SS. And I'm crossing my fingers that today's the day, guys. Today, we are really going to hammer on that fuel system. We're going to replace everything, top to bottom, and we're going to attempt to get this car to actually run and hopefully idle on its own. So in case you've missed the previous videos on this car, a quick rundown of the 66 Impala is this car was actually on a show called Two Guys Garage. Two Guys Garage is still on, guys, still on the air, it's still out there. This car came from season 12 where it was a barn find. They found this car in a junkyard and the junkyard offered them an engine, a 5.3, if they would do some work to the car. So they traded out work on the car for a 5.3, and when they were done, they gave the car back. Now, Two Guys Garage did a lot to this. They actually pulled the engine out of the car. They dismantled enough of it that they could see inside, clean everything up, put new gaskets, they put new intake gasket, and they found that it's got the high-performance head. So this is the 427 7-liter with high-performance heads with adjustable valve lash. They put a high-energy ignition distributor on it, and new spark plugs. They put long tube headers. I mean, they really went through it. They put tubular control arms. It's got front and rear wheel disc brakes. I mean, they did a ton of work. They even did a front wiring harness from here back to the fuse block. Now, included with this car is all the wiring harnesses, interior, the back harness, everything came with this car, and it still has all the stuff and more that they showed on the television show. The problem is basically this car was a barn find when they got their hands on it. They got it running, they got it driving, and then for some reason, this is where I'm lost, the car ended up back at a barn where it has sat for the last, I don't know, 13, 14 years. And here it is today, again, a barn find, non-running. But there's some things about this car I did not see in the television show, like beach sand all the way above the dashboard, right? And then the fuel tank was full of sand and salt water. We found that out in a previous video. We also found out that it had no fuel filter. I don't think this thing has ever had a fuel filter. I mean, probably in the last 20 years, there was no fuel filter on this car. And we also found there was no metal line. I did this without you guys because it is kind of cumbersome, but this is what went from the gas tank to the carburetor. It's all rubber that's degraded from all the years. And then there's this tiny metal line and then back to rubber where it went to the fuel pump. That's it. This is the entirety of the fuel line. Yeah. So I did the right thing and I went out and I bought a bunch of stuff for this car, including the original fuel line and a new gas tank. We have a brand spanking new gas tank for this car. We are replacing the entire fuel system. Every freaking thing on this car is getting replaced because all the old stuff had salt water and sand in it. So nothing can be trusted. We have a brand new fuel sending unit. And we have a genuine AC Delco fuel filter. Yes, we're actually going to put a fuel filter on this car. We have a new fuel pump. This has never been used. This is my Edelbrock, and this is a solid pump. This is good, even if it's got some ethanol, I think 10-15% ethanol. This will not come apart. It's got these nice rubber gaskets, rubber diaphragm and everything. We got our gaskets. We've got a new belt because I found when we did get this running, this belt started smoking and was super hot. Well, if you take a look, you see how the belt is actually down below the edges of this pulley? That belt's the wrong size. That belt needs to be this, which is a 15565. I got a Continental, so we got us a good belt. And just in case the Edelbrock decides not to fit, I got a Carter that will absolutely fit. But I think the Edelbrock's going to fit just fine. Then for the tank, we have the anti-squeak tank kit right here, along with the rubber insulators for the straps. Of course, we have brand new straps to install on this as well, just in case we run into any problems with the old one. And then we have, this is going to be the big boy right here. This is I believe it's actually a Holley. It's a Summit brand. And I ordered most of my stuff here from Summit and Jegs. Not sponsored. I paid for it all out of my own pocket. But what we have here is a 750 CFM double pumper, and it's got vacuum secondaries, which is great. So you'll run off of these front barrels until the car actually needs it. Once the vacuum gets to the right point, your secondaries will open up. See, with mechanical secondaries, as soon as the throttle gets to a certain point, it opens them regardless. This vacuum, I actually like this a little bit better because it waits until the load is ready for the two barrels in the back, and then it opens them up. So electric choke, double pumper, vacuum secondary, 750 CFM, because this is a big engine, guys, okay? 7 liters, and what's sitting on it now is like a 600 CFM Edelbrock. All right, so we got a lot to do. I got into the distributor, and I found that water had gone over the distributor as well. Yeah, it's it got wet. We have a flamethrower in the distributor, so that's some aftermarkets in there, aftermarket goodness. I cleaned it up as best I could with some electronics parts cleaner. And then we got the spark plugs that I took out. And why don't I throw a couple of pictures up here so you guys can see these in better detail. They're completely fouled out, guys. These are all very, very carbon fouled spark plugs. So we're going to clean those up. Now I want to show you what I've done off camera, because I think this one thing is going to make a world of difference. All right, let's get under here so I can show you guys what I've been up to off camera. So it took a little bit of finagling. Here's why we got a new gas tank too. Not only is this thing full of salt water and sand, but it got smashed up during, I don't know, during shipping, when it was thrown on a loader, I don't know, but the fuel tank is really banged up pretty bad, guys, and we're not going to do that. We're just not going to. So we're going to drain the tank, drop it. Looks like we got a vent that runs over here and somewhere up to the top there. I'm not sure where that goes, but it does appear to be a vent. But what I did is I installed this beautiful fuel line. Now, it's not perfectly centered yet. You see it moves around. I'll get it where it needs to be, but you can clearly see that I've routed it above all this rear suspension. It comes down here, and unfortunately I had to cut it. I was really disappointed. This came as a one-piece setup, guys, and I ended up having to cut it. I still have some tweaking to do. I'm actually going to put the fuel filter, I think, right here. I think I'm going to cut it here. We're going to cut this side somewhere over here, and it's not going to stay squashed like this. I'm going to have this where it's more free and where it needs to be, but I think we're going to put the fuel filter right here for easy access, closer to the tank, and then we may even put a second one up by the carburetor just to kind of future-proof it. And yes, before I ran the lines, I did tape everything up. Now, this entire line was only $88. And yes, look, it even comes with a protective spring. This spring goes around the tubing to protect it from rubbing up against the body. And it goes all the way up, and you can see it clearly goes all the way over. So the vibrations aren't going to hurt it. And then it runs down, and it goes kind of inside this box right here. Then it comes out, and it goes over this cross member. And you can see where it bends, and it goes up and over until it reaches its final destination, which is up by the fuel pump. Now, like I said, it's not perfect yet. I'm going to have to tweak it just a little bit. I'm going to do that off camera, and I got a little more cutting to do to make it perfect. But this way, instead of a rubber line running all the way from the back to the front, we have a proper metal line. So I'm going to work on that a little bit, and then we will start addressing all of the stuff up front and under the hood. And hopefully in this video, we'll finally have this classic, iconic American car up and running. So I think I got the line exactly the way I want it. I'm gonna let you guys take a look and tell me what you think. Honestly, I think it came out great. I really do. This line is hanging down, but once we get the new tank in, there's no pressure on this or anything. Like, this will be super easy just to basically plug in right to the sending unit. And as you can see behind it, plenty of clearance for the rear axle. And don't let this fool you. I had some people saying, oh my God, there's rust everywhere. No, guys, this is all undercoating. There's some surface rust under there, but it's all just undercoating. That's it. There's no like rust or rust through or anything like that. So it goes nice and high, above the rear axle, plenty of clearance. It goes up, and then it goes over and under right here. And again, just surface rust. All that flaking is just some of the undercoating flaking off. It comes out from here and runs down to where I have the AC Delco fuel filter. And I use the good clamps, and I use the good fuel line, guys. This is Evil Energy 3000 PSI. 3/8 inch fuel line, and that's what this car called for from the factory, was 3/8 inch. So we have 3/8 steel line all the way to a filter that's easily accessible, and we've got fuel injection hose clamps, no chance of a leak. Then it goes into this box where I've used zip ties to kind of hold everything together there. It comes out of the box right here, goes over, and it bends perfectly up, over, and out, guys, all the way to where the fuel pump is. I'm excited. I'm really excited. I think I've got that line pretty much the way I need to get it, where I need it to be. So I guess next I need to work on this. I got to take the ground strap off right here. It's probably gonna be like a little 8mm. And then this should just unplug. Although this probably needs to be redone. We'll worry about that another time. That's simply the gauge. And we got to take this vent tube off right here. And I should probably empty the tank. I don't know how much is in there, but we should definitely get it emptied out. Then get the transmission jack. And good. These studs are good. Eyelets all look very nice. Everything under here looks to be in great shape. Let's get this tank emptied. Let's get this tank off. Then we can start prepping to put the new tank on. Well, I drained the tank. I opted not to put that on camera. Let's, oh, these are loose. These aren't even tight. Oh boy, okay. Oh, yeah. This is probably gonna come crashing down. Let me make sure everything's out of the way. I don't think I can catch this. I have a hunch this whole thing's just gonna kind of fall. Oh, yep. All right, easy does it. Whoop. Uh-oh. Yeah, help. Oh man, let's use our head. All right, let's see. Okay, yeah. All right, and should just be able to. There we go. Woo, that smells rank. Hey, making progress, guys. You know what? I ought to just sit this outside. Open sesame. Let's just take this. We'll do this easy. And just sit this outdoors here. There we go. And there it is. Easy enough. Boy, that's cold. Now these straps, I think they just kind of slide. Uh-oh. I said they just, there we go, slide out. We're gonna put new straps on it. Even though these look fine, I don't really see the point in using them. I lost the washers, which is great. Oh, these aren't the proper, somebody used a bolt and a washer for these. That's fine. I found one washer. The other one's, oh, it's bound to be laying around here somewhere, right? Hey, guys, we got a fuel tank out. And you know what? It actually looks really good under here. Just so you guys can have a look right along with me. No rust. I mean, nowhere. I'm telling you, even look at the body mounts. This is another thing. Like, take a look at the body mounts back here, guys. They're in perfect shape. This car looks like it was at some point, like not all that long ago. It looks like it was a rotisserie restoration. What is this, a 12 bolt? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, it's a 12 bolt rear end. I think somebody did this car right, man, at some point. Not in a while, but at some point, man, this car was done up right. Body mounts are in really decent shape. This is not too bad, guys. All right, well, next step is to see if my new tank that I got off eBay is gonna fit. All right, are you guys ready to see what I've done? Putting in a fuel tank of this size by yourself is very difficult. It's not heavy, it's just so awkward because of how big this thing is, man. This was a bear to do by myself, which is why I didn't bother trying to film. And what made it even worse is the studs that were used to hold the tank in were the wrong studs. They weren't even close to being right, guys. They were way too short, and I couldn't get these things to mate up to save my life. Now, what I did is I found some studs that I had laying around from CVF Racing for that front mount kit on the 57 Chevy, and I used a couple washers, and they seem to be working fine. I know this one probably looks, well, it looks a little loose, but it's not. See, I can grab it and it doesn't, you can't turn the washer, and there's no flex in the tank at all. And we have a filler neck here that just happens to fit perfectly like it's supposed to. Now, why don't we take a look at the handiwork I did under here? And I also knocked my head here, so be very, very careful under here not to do that again. We have the vent hooked back up, and I managed to get this line bent in such a way that it was almost right up, butted against the sending unit. And that sending unit, by the way, that took incredibly long to get in. Without the proper spanner wrench, all I'm going to say is that was a job, and I hope I never have to do it again. That was really too much of a pain for such a simple thing. We've got the original wire holder here holding the ground wire up and the signal wire. We've got some fuel injection clamps holding the 3000 PSI hose, and then it's still bent nicely over the rear axle. Looks like it's out of the way. Up and over, fuel filter installed, and run all the way to the front of the car, guys. That means the only thing we have left before we can try to start this is putting the ignition back together. Got to put the distributor cap back on, run the plug wires, clean the plugs, put a new carburetor on top of the intake, a new fuel pump, and then fuel line from the pump to the carb. And just those few little things, this car ought to run, and with any luck, it might even idle. I feel like we're getting really close, guys. So I swapped out the fuel pump, and look what I found. Do you see that? It got smashed somehow, and it was leaking profusely. You know what that means? You guys know what this means. This means it was sucking air trying to get fuel. No way in hell it's going to run right like that. None at all. I mean, you can clearly see all the corrosion from, and that hose was broken in multiple places that ran the length of the car. A rubber hose, not the right way to do it, guys. I think we are, in fact, I know we are really, really close. So I scrubbed all the spark plugs on this side and I reinstalled them. I got the distributor cap on, I got the wires on, we've got the hose to the new pump. You'll notice I ended up having to use that Carter pump. Then we got another hose. I wish we had the metal line, the original metal line, but we don't. So I had to route this hose behind the alternator around the water pump, and it should come out something. I mean, something about like this. I can still trim it to size as I need. This carburetor is already disconnected. It's ready to come off and swap out. Currently, I'm on this side cleaning up these spark plugs just so you can see, like, They actually came out really nice, guys. Really nice. So I'm about to install these spark plugs, those plug wires. Timing's going to be off. Carburetor still has to go on. And that alternator belt is going to scream. So just to get it running, I may go ahead and just cut that belt. We should put a belt on. It's the right thing to do. Let's not half-ass it. I did find a wire. I'm not quite sure what it is, but I'm hopeful that this wire is a 12 volt. I found it. If this is an ignition, a keyed 12 volt switch, we could actually run this over to, you guessed it, the electric choke. That would be ideal. I'd be so happy. It was actually run under the car, and they stuck it in the frame right there in that hole. They shoved it in there. I was like, what is this? So I pulled it out. I don't know. We'll find out. We definitely need 12 volts to get the choke to work. Timing's going to be off, but I'm hoping it's going to run now, guys, because everything is going to be new, from fresh fuel tank, sending unit, hard lines, soft lines, fuel filter, everything, carburetor, fuel pump, everything is going to be new. The reason I couldn't use this pump, and I'm really upset about this pump will fit, man. And I spent like $160, $180 this. I want to use this pump, but I can't use it because I don't have the fittings. I have none. Part stores are closed. So I'm going to have to take this with me and try to find some 3/8 and I don't know what size. Those are NPTs. I don't know what size fittings those are. But I'm going to need something because I am going to come back and install this 100%. And I am ready, man. I'm so ready to put this beautiful, beautiful carburetor on top of this, you know, really nasty looking motor. We're real close, guys. Real close. Take this, the old Edelbrock off. Where can we sit this thing? And let's just plop her right there. We've got new gaskets. If we're lucky, this will come off in one. There we go. One piece. Come on, don't break. Don't break. Come on. One piece. Well, mostly. Got to clean it up just a tad bit. Not too bad. I mean, you can see how clean this intake is. This thing hasn't even been used, guys. Yeah, I don't think it's been used since the show at all. I really don't. I think they finished what they were doing with it, and it literally got put right back into right back into a barn where it sat. Okay, don't worry, I didn't forget the gasket. They sent an extra one. So, and I don't use silicone on these either. I just put these on. I hate having to scrub and pry them off when I change them out. So I guess I'm gonna throw this new carburetor on. You guys want to do that with me real quick? I've skipped you guys going with me to do a lot of the work today. Just there's too much to get done. It's already getting really late. And you guys know how it goes when you tell your significant other, it's only going to be a couple hours, babe. I meant it when I said it. I swear I did. I meant it. I meant it when I said it. Unfortunately, a couple hours passed by, oh, I don't know, 3-4 hours ago now. So needless to say, my significant other is not particularly happy with me. All right, I'm gonna need a razor blade to finish cleaning that up. And I've got one right here, so let's just try to make sure that we got no leaks. That's what I'm going for here. No leaks at all. We want this thing to run perfect. As perfect as it can anyway. All right, give her another good spray. Just kind of wipe this down for good measure here. There we go. Now we can put our gasket on. And this is a nice looking gasket too, guys. I love these thick ones. Really helps avoid any leaks. All I gotta do is hope that with this thick gasket, my bolts still work. See how thick this is? That's a big gasket. It's even got crush washers in it. Look at that. That is nice. That is real nice. Fits perfectly, as it should. And now, for the crown jewel. Oh man, that's pretty. That's pretty. Let's see. These are the studs that I'm using. So hopefully, I think those will work. Yeah. Yeah, those will work. Good deal. It is finally the moment we've all been waiting for. Unfortunately, the belt that I bought for the alternator, wrong belt, so we don't have a water pump. Yeah, belt doesn't fit at all. So anyway, I found the pink wire right here that was laying over here. It's actually a switched ignition. Somebody had already run this for a choke, so that's nice. This wire right here, we never did figure out what it goes to. There's no power going to it, so we're just gonna kind of leave it sitting up here out of the way. We got our feed line installed. Rubber line is installed. I haven't tried to start it without you guys. Because there's no water pump, we can't let it run for long, but the goal is, hopefully, this thing will start and maybe even idle in this video. We've got the choke hooked up. Fuel lines are all hooked up. I put 5 gallons of gas in it. There's nothing left to do, guys. It's batteries in it. I'm nervous. I want this thing to run so badly. Here we go. Let's let that starter rest a minute. We did spray a considerable amount of starting fluid down the engine, so I'm not surprised that it kind of kicked off for a split second there. But I don't want to work that starter too hard. Come on, old girl. Get that fuel. All right, let's let her rest. Dang, man. I'm so excited. Look, the fuel gauge works. That's impressive, being underwater. 5 gallons, it's a 20-gallon tank. It's showing just about a quarter of a tank, so the fuel gauge actually works in this. That's incredible. I'm kind of surprised it hasn't tried to start yet. Not even. Wait. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Come on. Come on, girl. Come on. Son of a gun. She tried, man. She tried. That's all I want for this video, is to get this thing to run and idle. Come on. Come on, man. Whoa, 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 whoa. All right. All right, I hear you. I hear you. Totally forgot. Timing might be a tad bit off. We'll turn it a tad bit that way. See if it makes any difference. Turn around and flip it the other way, because we sure don't want a fireball coming out of her, do we? She don't seem to like that neither. It's always got to be something. Let's bring her. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa! Hold up. We got a fuel leak. Oh, pretty considerable one too. Perfect. Yeah. All right. Well. Great. Where is it? Is it leaking from everywhere? Yeah. It's leaking up here. It's not leaking from here, but it's leaking up here, and it looks like it's leaking down here too. Son of a gun. Float bowls, look. They're a little overfilled. Oh, the back one is way overfilled. Those will need to be adjusted. Son of a gun. Choke is working though. Choke looks happy. But yeah, fuel leaks, not good. So I took it all apart. I put some Teflon tape on it. I put it all back together again. We still have a mess down here though, and we got to clean that up, because if this thing pops a fireball, you guys already know what's going to happen. Like, this whole thing's going to go up in flames. Since the timing is obviously off, I'm gonna grab a rag over here. We're gonna try to dab up as much of this fuel as possible, because the last thing I want is to be sitting here trying to get this thing running and have her just light up and burn to the ground. Possibly even burn the shop to the ground, because you know, ain't no way this car is coming off this lift. So I'm gonna do my best to really clean this up. Maybe even hit it with some carb cleaner, brake cleaner, something like that, just to help out a little bit more. There we go. There we go. That looks pretty good. I don't see any pooled gasoline anywhere. Maybe it wouldn't hurt to hit it with some compressed air. Like I said, guys, the last thing I want is for this thing to go poof. Maybe it wouldn't hurt to, I don't know. I say we're good, man. This is what getting in a hurry does, man. Because if it shoots a fireball, it could be the end of the road. Right now, I'd like to go ahead and crank it up real quick without trying to start it. Let's just crank on it. And let's find out if we have any more fuel leaks. Oh. Yep. Yep. She's pissed. That's for sure. Point it back that way. That's probably too much. I can't remember where it was. I should have marked it. Let's see if we got any. I don't see any fuel leaking at all. All right. So we're good. Let's try it again. That time it backfired out of the exhaust. This time it'll probably backfire through the carburetor. Oh, come on, she's trying so hard. There it is. There it was. Oh, she didn't idle though. Come on. Well, it's running. It ain't running any better than it did before. None. And then it dies. And then it dies. Why? Why? It's getting so late, I'm not going to be able to run it anymore. I'll try to start it up again. Ooh, wow. Jeez. Yeah, she's loaded up, man. She is loaded up. On a positive note, don't think we have any vacuum leaks, although that's kind of the way it's acting. It's acting like it's got a freaking vacuum leak, man. But I just, everything is tight. This carburetor, I don't even believe has a place for a vacuum line on the back of the carburetor at all. So we know everything up here is good. The intake is new. The intake gasket was new when they were working on it on the show. I'm kind of at a loss, man. It could have one of those cams, the 4-7 swap. That's a possibility that we've got two cylinders that are mismatched. Back in the day, that was something people did, man. They did a cam swap that swapped cylinder number 4 and cylinder number 7. So that could be there. I'm gonna die of carbon dioxide poison. I just can't run this thing. It's just too late. It's too late. I mean, it runs. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. She's sure trying. She's trying. We can guarantee that it's not fuel related anymore. You know what I mean? You let off the gas, it dies immediately. Immediately. If I hold my foot on the gas, she'll run. Not happily, but she'll run. And then as soon as I let off, it's instantaneous, man. She dies immediately. Immediately. So we're having the same problem we had before. Exact same problem. That's crazy. That's crazy. Choke is opened. Son of a gun, man. One thing is different. I don't see a bunch of smoke coming out of the carburetor anymore. So that's nice. This is so frustrating. I gotta stand outside. My eyes are burning. Wow. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Whew. Let's open a door here. So obviously we know timing is still off. No doubt about that. Whew. Would you look at that? Good Lord. Seriously, my eyes are burning, guys. God, I can't even stand by it. Whew. Try to get this cleared out a little bit. I wish it was earlier. I'd love to be able to try to get this finished tonight, but it looks like I'm gonna have to come back yet again. Another freaking day. Let me see what time it is. It's probably, oh hell, it's midnight. Well, I'm gonna be in the doghouse because my fiance is inside, and I told her, oh, this is only gonna be maybe a 2-hour job. Oh man, we've been here like 6. Yeah, I'm gonna be in the doghouse on this one, guys. Because of how late it is, I'm not gonna fire it up anymore. I don't want to disrespect the neighbors or anything. It's a work day, it's a school day, and I can't keep these doors closed and run this car. If you guys have any idea what might be going on with this, man, feel free to. It's trying to. There it is. Start smoke again. I mean, it could be timing related. I don't know, man. I don't know. It seems like when you rev it, it seems like it's solid. You know what I mean? When you give her the juice, man, she seems pretty solid. It's just, she won't idle. She just refuses to freaking idle. I'm going to have to go grab another belt tomorrow. So we're going to come back in another video yet again. I'm sorry, guys. This one's really been, this one's been fighting me. This one's been fighting me. Thankfully, I don't see any fuel leaks from here or over here anymore. I still need to check underneath. I'll do that in the next video as well. But I guess I can try tinkering with the timing a little bit, see if maybe we can get it to run a little better time. But it's acting like it's just crazy misfiring. That's what it seems like to me, is that it's misfiring super bad. It could be possibly that distributor got damaged. Maybe the flamethrower control module in there is somehow damaged from getting wet. That's certainly a possibility. It could be causing all kinds of problems with this thing trying to run. I did check the firing order. Firing order is correct. We know the fuel system is brand new and correct. Intake, unless it's got some massive crack that I don't know about, that's another possibility. The way it's acting, it seems like when you really start letting it breathe, it starts cleaning up. Still misfiring, but it starts cleaning up. It's almost like there's some kind of a massive vacuum leak somewhere, and I can't find it, you know? Now, see, there's good vacuum on the booster. I heard it sucking. Hear it? Yeah, so the booster's holding vacuum. Everything on the carb is plugged. We've got new gaskets. So, I don't know. I don't know, but it is certainly acting like a massive vacuum leak. I don't hear any issues with the engine as far as like noises, you know, knocking, clanking, ticking, none of that stuff going on. So I think the engine's okay. I mean, there could be valve problems. Who knows? Maybe we should have run a bore scope. That's what we should have done. We should have run a bore scope in this engine and try to take a look and see if we can see any rust or anything on the cylinder walls. Maybe take a peek at the valves if we could see any. That's the next thing, is could we actually have something wrong with the engine itself? I don't think so, guys. All right, enough blabbing. If you have any suggestions, any ideas, if you've run into this problem before and you're like, man, I know exactly what that is, hey, definitely hit me up in the comment section below and tell me what you think the problem is. I am really starting to lean towards either something wrong with the distributor or something wrong with the control module in the distributor. These distributors are so cheap, it's almost worth it to just buy a whole nother distributor and drop it in, considering it got wet. Maybe something in there is not right. Maybe someone did a 4-7 swap on this and we've got 2 cylinders mixed up because nobody knew that the cam had been changed. Honestly, don't know, guys. But so after midnight, and that means I gotta go. Some of these flood cars are super easy. Like, some of them come back to life with a little bit of gas and, you know, a new starter and a new alternator. And then there's other ones, you know, like the Mitsubishi Eclipse, like this one right here, that it's like, yeah, it's gonna take a little more work, a little more diagnosing. I'm gonna do some more research myself and try to figure out exactly what's going on with this car. And hopefully, maybe, possibly in the next video, not only will we get it running and hopefully idling, but maybe it's possible we could actually take it and do a short test drive. Hell, maybe we can do the 10 miles in it. I don't know. It's got brake lights. That's all you need, right? Hey, listen, guys, I appreciate you taking the time to watch my video. If you enjoyed it, hit the thumbs up button and let me know, and consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss any videos just like this one. Till next time, stay safe out there, everybody. I look forward to seeing y'all again very soon in the next one.